everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tender Gaming. So on this video, I was going to do something a little bit different than what I normally do. I'm going to talk about something recent in news that has nothing to do with video games, so strap yourselves in. What I'm going to be talking about today is the recent news that Golf Town has declared bankruptcy. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why the hell am I talking about this? Like, what does this have to do with anything? Well, it's a very simple reason. I worked for Golf Town for about 6 years, and I worked in the golf industry, like that world, for about 13 years. So I wanted to kind of give you guys my 2 cents on that kind of news and where I think golf as a whole is going, because it ain't good. Now, first of all, let me just say that my time with Golf Town as a company was fantastic. It was really fun. Even to this day, I still have a lot of friendships and a lot of people that I still talk to that I worked with there. And I worked everywhere from, just sales all the way up to like department head and eventually into management. So I kind of held every role there, and every step along the way, it was a lot of fun. My managers were great. The staff was great. A lot of our customers were great. So I have nothing but like really positive things to say about that company. And same with being in that industry. I've held jobs everywhere from, I started off when I was 14 as a walking scorekeeper for the Nationwide Tour. I eventually got into caddying for the Nationwide Tour, and on the Canadian Tour, I toured around Canada trying to get my status card, doing mini tours, things like that. I've worked at very high-end prestigious golf courses as pro shop managers, assistant pros, teachers, all that sort of stuff as well. So I've been in the industry, and I like to think that I know kind of what I'm talking about going forward with this video. Golf Town declaring bankruptcy is not exclusively their fault, because they're just a retailer. They are a company that provides you with a service. So the kind of fall of this industry isn't solely on their backs, although they're probably taking it the hardest out of really anybody. And the big reason for this is, in my opinion, they opened way too much too soon. 54 stores very quickly. They bought out another golfing company as well that cost them way too much money, and they really, I don't think, ever made their money back from that. So that was a big on their part as well. But the big thing and big reason why I think this whole industry is falling is because I think people are starting to smarten up. I think people are starting to realize that this sport is catered to the wealthy, the rich, and it just has been since really the beginning of time, since the first caveman hit a pine cone into a gopher hole and went, "I'm a king!" It's just been that way forever, and I think people are starting to kind of get pissed off about it, because most of the people that I know play golf, 2-3 times a year, usually in corporate events or with work or something like that. It's very hard to play this game consistently unless you have the money to do so. And if you do, it's your money. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. If you want to spend $10,000 for a membership, that's cool. If you want to help kids in Africa get food, then you should maybe do that. But whatever, it's your money. You can do whatever. Now, a big thing that I have a problem with, and I've always had a problem with this, is this game, and it's a game, by the way, it's not a sport. Don't fucking cheat yourself and say golf's a sport. If you could sit your ass in a cart, drinking a beer, eating a meatball sub, and smoking a cigar to get out and find your ball in the rough and sometimes hit it good, it's not a sport. It's a game. It is a hobby at best, okay? But the problem is, the big problem is, it is way too goddamn expensive to play this game. When you take a look at, buying a set of clubs, you have to take out a second mortgage on your house just to afford, the newest thing. People typically don't have, $1,500 to drop on a set of, TaylorMades or something like that. Even inexpensive clubs are still running you $600-700, and that's for, kind of shitty stuff. So, I mean, I just don't think people really want to do that anymore. It's just unfair when you really think about it. And that's not even including the outfits. This shirt cost me $45. Why? It's purple. It's a purple shirt, and it was $45. So when you really tack on clothing, hats, balls, gloves, tees, training devices, shoes, your bag, all that sort of stuff, towels, all that sort of stuff. You're racking up stuff that's typically anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 for not really anything. I mean, it's so wildly expensive that I really do think that people are starting to wise up and go, I don't want to spend, $1,000 in a set of clubs. Like, why should I? Because you really shouldn't have to when you really think about it. And believe me, if you don't see like a change in the golfing community, you're going to start seeing a lot of these vendors start falling down. Like Nike will probably drop out. Wilson's staff is basically dead. I think Mizuno will probably pull out as well because there's just not a volume of people buying their products anymore. It just really comes down to how you manage and market your stuff. And if it's too expensive, well, there you go. It's too expensive. Not to mention green fee costs as well. Even to play kind of like a crummy run-of-the-mill course is still running you typically about $100 when you factor in if you get a cart, if you get food, even if you pick up like a bag of tea, stuff like that. So I mean, it really is a very expensive thing just to go out with a few buddies to play 18 holes where you have some asshole in a cart timing you the entire time. If I'm paying you like $125 to play around at golf, I should be able to take a shit on the first tee and you should wipe my ass and say, "Thank you, sir, can I have another?" But if you don't like that, then you can buy like a membership to a course because that's not crazy expensive at all. I mean, Club Link is good, sort of. I mean, you still have to pay annual dues, and a lot of the times you get tacked with like food costs and things like that you have to use regardless. So I mean, you're still paying for stuff even though you don't use it, which is like pretty ass backwards when you think about it. Or you could like join a private course. One of the courses that I worked at, it costs you $15,000 to join. To join a club, just to join a club, like I don't understand that. Plus your annual fees that usually ran you about $2,000. It's just it's insane when you really think about it. Like $15,000, and a lot of the times people are just joining this club to have their ass kissed for a little while. You could literally be the biggest Nazi redneck motherfucking racist guy in the world, and we're all gonna look at you and say, "I agree, sir. I'm just gonna smile through my teeth because you're a member here." And believe me, it fucking happens. And don't even get me started on all the crazy rules. And I don't even mean the rules on the course itself. I mean like dress code stuff. You can't wear shorts that are like to here. Your shirt has to have a collar. It's got to be tucked in. Your hat has to be golf related. It can't have like a Toronto Maple Leafs or like Sleeman or Coors or something like that on it. You can't wear socks that are to here. They have to be to here. Your shoes have to be golf shoes, but soft spiked unless you're going into a clubhouse. Then they have to be like dress shoes because you can't wear your fucking shoes in the clubhouse. It's just, and your shirt, like, you can't, it's got to be collared, it's got to be tucked in, it can't have like crazy shit all over it, it's got to be like proper. It's just, why do you jump through all these hoops when you're paying so much money? Like, you should be able to wear whatever the hell you want if you're paying that much money when you really think about it. And here's another big thing. If I showed up to a golf course and I was wearing jeans and I went out to play around a golf and I had jeans and a t-shirt on and somebody went to the head pro or to the course head or whatever and went, "I do declare that that person is wearing something that is improper, and I do not like it. It bothers me. Yes, it bothers me. Yes, in my life, yes, what he's wearing, it offends me." Here's my solution to you. If somebody wearing like jeans at a golf course bothers you that much, here's what you do. It's a very simple thing. You go home and you try to suck your own dick for as long as you possibly can because nobody gives a fuck. Okay? If you care about that, then you are just an asshole. It's just true. It's just honest. If somebody wearing jeans that you have to see walk past you briefly, like vaguely, at some point in your life, if that's bothering you, then you're a fucking dick and fuck you. Now, here's the thing overall. When you compare golf to other sports, you take the fun out of golf. Like, golf has become very not fun, and that's why I haven't played it in a couple years, because it's not fun anymore. There's too many rules, there's too many codes, there's too much bullshit that goes along with it. When you compare it to other games and sports like soccer, basketball, baseball, football. Hell, You can just grab a basketball, go to a public court, and play. You don't need to like pay to go on it. You don't need to do all that shit. Same with soccer. You just need a field with like a friend sometimes to kick a ball around. Even baseball, what do you need? You need like a bat, a glove, and a ball. How much are you spending? $150 maybe? I mean, it's all those other sports are so wildly cheaper and more accessible that anybody can do it really at any time. But when you look at golf, it's like, I gotta call ahead and book fucking tee time. Oh, I can't get it that time. Well, can you, I don't know, bump that person down? No? Oh, well, I guess I'll just come to the driving range. And even the driving range is gonna cost, $20 just to go hit a bucket of balls. It's fucking ridiculous. You have to make golf fun and accessible again. And that's what's killing the industry. That's why, ratings for PGA Tour events are slowly falling. That's why, companies like Golf Town are going out of business because they can't maintain anything because nobody gives a shit anymore because it's so posh and so just upper class that the average person is going, fuck it. I'll just go play street hockey for a bit. Because it's way easier to do that. So overall, I mean, it really sucks because companies like Golf Town, who basically came into town, ran all the competition out of business, like Nevada Bob's, like local companies like Target Lines, I mean, they're now on the front line taking the hit, and they're failing at it, to be perfectly honest, and it sucks. I don't think Golf Town's going anywhere. They're obviously most likely going to get bought out by another company and probably get repackaged, and some stores will most likely close. But it just sucks that they really are taking the hit because they are a very good and fun company to work for. But it's just the industry as itself. You have to make it fun again. You have to make it accessible again. Enough with the bullshit. Enough with this like posh history stuff.
This course was designed by Stanley Thompson in 1918. It featured some of the most decorated golfers of all time. It was quite decadent.
Who gives a shit? Like, who cares? Who goes home and opens up a book and is like, oh, Stanley Thompson designs? Oh, shit. Literally nobody, I hope, does that. So, you gotta take this, like, mystique, like upper class garbage and just put it aside. Golf needs to be accessible for everybody at all times, like soccer, like football, like basketball. You have to make it fun again because if you don't, it's gonna start just failing. You're not gonna see it around anymore, and a lot of courses are gonna go out of business and probably just sell their like land to build housing, which honestly, not really a bad idea. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to fix golf as a whole and your thoughts on Golf Town declaring bankruptcy, let me know in the comments below because I'd actually really love to read and hear your opinions on this sort of stuff as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to Tender Gaming. I know this was kind of a weird video, but I thought it was important to talk about. And don't forget to like this video as well, and leave me a comment on pretty much anything that you guys want to do as well. Until next time, I will see you all on the very next episode of Tender Gaming. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, it's in the hole. It's a Cinderella story.